Because
Call in by clicking the link in the stream's description. The professor wants to hear from you.
Beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul, good car.
Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back, I'm focused on what's in front of me. Everybody dates a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know that God got me, so I'm in good company. Isn't it lovely?
Welcome, and thank you for joining me today. I am Professor Bear, and this is A Bear's Thought. And today, as always, my show is sponsored by three great companies that I have tremendous respect for and love dearly. First, we're going to start with Nirvana Comics. Professor is a big nerd. I've always loved comics since I was a kid. I have a big collection. I have probably about 3 trunk full of comic books right now. And man, when I want to get more comics like I usually do, I go to Nirvana Comics. They have a wide selection of great comics. They have graphic novels. They have rated comic books that you can get and some real rare comics. And they are in Knoxville, Tennessee. But if you don't live in the East Tennessee area or just you don't want to do that drive, they have a solution for you. They have a subscription box where you can order your comics weekly and get what you want. And if you do that, you get 25% off. Plus, if you order $30 or more in comics, the shipping is free. I mean, you can't beat that. So if you want to go and check that offer out, go to nirvanacomics.knoxville.com. They are great. Now, the other side of my nerdum is I played with action figures. I'm not ashamed of it, loved it, helped me have a big creative imagination. And I still have a bunch of action figures. One of my prized possessions is this Ric Flair. Woo! But sometimes I'm looking for new things, and you could tell I have title belts behind me. I want new ones. So I found this great shop in Clinton, Tennessee, Tag Team Toys and Collectibles. When I tell you they have a wide range of collectible action figures, it is amazing. They have so many different ones to choose from. Plus, they also have comic books. And for the older fans like myself who don't want to give up, use all this new technology, they actually have VCR tapes. Yes, they do. They have cards. They have a lot of different selections. So all you have to do is go to Tag Team Toys and Collectibles on Facebook and they will hook you up. Now, last but not least, chops, cards, and print on demands. Again, big nerd. I collected a lot of different things. I collected baseball cards, football cards, wrestling cards. If it was a card, I collected it. And when I was younger, I was like, man, one day I'm going to have my own card. I'm going to have my own card. Well, turns out I didn't want to put in the work, so I didn't get one. But Chops Cards has made the professor's dreams come true because they do personalized trading cards. And I'm telling you, I'm working on getting mine right now. And I'm getting 18 of them for $50. It is crazy how great of quality they are. And I'm telling you, you can't beat that unless you use that special code that's BEAR15 and you get 15% off your entire order. That's right. It is an amazing deal. And I promise you, I am going to have mine and I'm going to show them off when I get them. That's Chops, Cards, and Print on Demands. Your number one for trading cards and print on demands. Now, today, my special guest, guys, y'all know I'm all over the place when it comes to wrestling. I watch the big ones, I watch the little ones, I go to a lot of different things. Well, in my looking of wrestling, I ran across this young lady, and man, I saw she is an announcer, and I thought to myself, wow, I bet she has a great story to tell. So I reached out, and lo and behold, she was so willing to do it. It helped, it made me smile, and it brought joy to my heart. So now I want to introduce y'all to my guest, Valerie. Valerie, how you doing today?
Professor Bear, thank you so much for having me here. I'm beyond honored to be part of this with you. My shoot name or my real name is Naomi Dayann, and my ring announcer name is Vanessa Vanidosa. So yes, I'm just beyond grateful for the opportunity that you're giving me here, and thank you so much. I'm really honored. Your words mean a lot to me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I always start off my interviews asking, how did you get into wrestling?
Well, I was born in Mexico, and I actually grew up watching more of the lucha libre with my uncle, with my cousins, and yeah, just I started at a really young age. And once I came into the U.S. at the age of 6, and I started watching WWE, I fell in love all over again, and I wanted to start getting into, or at least going into watching independent shows back when I was 21, 22. And I discovered it and I fell in love. It's a huge industry and you meet some of the best people in it.
Definitely have to agree with you there. I've met so many great people I that I found out that I wasn't the only person. I thought I was the biggest nerd in the world, and I found out
Yes.
I'm nowhere near it.
Yes, surprisingly, like I think that I'm sure you can agree that when you're a fan first going into shows and you see their demeanor and you see their personas, you're like, oh wow, it looks so intimidating. But once you actually kind of go out to them after shows, get to talk to them, get to know them. Like, you realize that not only are they really sweet, genuine people, but they're the hugest nerds ever. And I think that you get to really vibe with them in that aspect.
Oh yeah, I. That's why I always tell people go to independent shows.
Absolutely.
It. I will always say WWE, AEW, the big boys of it is great, but there's
Hmm.
no feeling like an independent show. It just not. You get, like you said, you get to meet them, and you feel like, wow, it's, I can't believe we're talking, we're carrying the conversation.
Exactly.
So, how did you get into ring announcing?
Ah, Herman. Okay, so actually, being very honest with you, um, ever since I discovered independent wrestling back in 2022, if I'm not wrong, 2021, 2022, I've always wanted to get into actually training to wrestle, but I realized, you know what, Naomi, this is gonna be too much for you. I feel like I respect everybody that does it because I know that's what they love to do, but I I was just always too scared to get hurt, you know, and I still kind of am. And I was honest with myself about that. So I wanted to be part of the industry, like at least doing something that I feel more comfortable with doing, you know, and ring announcing. Um, I'm very honored that I actually started back in, well, a couple of months ago, back in May of this year. I was granted the opportunity, and I think it's amazing that I've been able to get to know the talent for these last couple years, and I've been a fan of them and great friends with them. And now I'm announcing them, you know. So I think that that's part of why I really enjoy what I do. I try my best to be like, oh, you know, I'm really pumped. I'm gonna get to ring announce this person that I've known for like years and stuff. So it's a really cool thing. I really do enjoy it. I'm very honored for the opportunities that have been given to me and that are given to me to continue doing what I love.
It's very understandable about being scared to be hurt. I got a
Yeah,
chance to actually go to a training session this year. And when I say, for every guy and girl that were in that training class and were doing the bumps and hitting the ropes, I just really gained more respect for them. That
absolutely.
I was just blown away by their dedication, and especially this one young lady. And she had been doing it. I I think I've said for 8 years, and then maybe more, 5. It was some. She's been doing it a long time, and it's taken her a long time to get the understanding and doing it of doing things. And it was one particular thing that she had to do that she was so scared of. She has problems doing, but standing there, and everybody was standing there, encouraged her, and she did it. And
Mhm.
I felt like I was in the ring with her to accomplish that. Like she had won a world title. And
Mm,
I felt so happy for her that she's never given up. She does security for them and different things, but she's still trying to live her dream. And I applaud her so much for doing that.
absolutely. I think it takes a lot of like guts and encouragement to get in. I know that they do it because they love it, but it's I think from somebody who maybe just watches from afar or it's like the first time showing up, they make it look so easy. You know, it's the whole stigma, but no, in reality, it takes so much more than how easy it looks. They make it look easy because they're professionals, because they freaking practice, and because they're dedicated
Yes,
and
yes.
they're professionals, you know? So
So going to being a ring announcer, what was, how did you get to transition to that? Was it like you had to ask, or did somebody suggest, or how did it happen?
I'm sorry. I think you kind of cut off a little bit, sir. Can do you mind asking the question again?
Yeah.
I think it might
So
have
I
been on my
was,
end. I apologize.
oh no, no problem. How did you trans? How did you get to going to be a ring announcer? Was it that you asked, or did someone suggest, or how did that happen?
Mm-hmm. So actually, I been friends with some of the talent for a while now, especially like people that have been in the business for a really long time. And with this one, I do have to really shout out Mr. Boyce Legrand because I I told him, you know what, Boyce, I'm kind of interested in getting into the business and I want to ring announce, but I don't know how to start. And he was just giving me tips, and in a way he told me like who I should try reaching out to, and that's when I came across Robert Hoff, the owner and promoter for Wrestling for Charity. And I'll always be grateful with him because he's actually the person who gave me my first opportunity to ring announce. And I was super stoked for the opportunity because I will be honest, like I didn't quite train to do it because I know that a lot of but people in the business do prefer somebody who actually like goes into school to train, and that's more than respectable by all means. But I'm really grateful that I was friends with enough people to kind of like give me the right tips and guide me to prepare me for it. And once given the opportunity, of course, from how I first started to where I'm at, I made like a huge progression, and it's just a practice, So I'm really grateful for with Boyce Legrand as well as with Robert Hoff because they, in a way, Boyce guided me and kind of gave me tips on like who to talk to as well as what I can do to prepare myself. And then Robert was the one that actually gave me my first announcing gig.
Okay. So, how do you prepare? What is a normal day getting ready for announcing a show?
Oof. Well, it's actually not as bad as it seems. I will say though that our biggest tool as a ring announcer, voice. Definitely a lot of cough drops, a lot of tea, a lot of stuff that can keep your voice nice and prepared, so that way you don't sound terrible when you're up there, because that's basically what we're doing. We also have to be kind of course, getting all the information ready with the wrestlers because something that I've learned a lot too is that if you have everybody's information, take notes. Trying to, I have like a little like notepad with like all the wrestlers' information, so that way, hey, I already got your information. Would you like me to say that? Would you like me to make some changes? So just so that way, it's easier on the wrestlers as well as it's easier on you, especially if you have to start a show really like late or something. So I mean, luckily. Shows usually have a call time, maybe like 3 hours, 2 hours beforehand, so you have enough time to prepare. But stuff always happens. So it's always good to keep notes on the wrestlers, so that way you're more prepared going into the next time.
So, with that being said, have you ran into well, and have you ran into it where you just went blank? You had the notes there and you still went blank.
And just kind of going up in front of the crowd,
Yeah.
or announcing a wrestler.
Announcing the wrestler.
Well, I think that I've prepared myself more than enough, especially when it comes to ring announcing the wrestlers, because like I'm hard on myself on that. Like I really don't ever want to mess up anybody's name. Luckily, I haven't done it ever since I started, and I plan not to do it ever. But stuff happens. I think that sometimes the nerves can break. Sometimes there can be confusion. But yeah, I mean, every now and then sometimes stuff slips up right now, or maybe um not say something that you're not supposed to say, but just blur something out that I'm like, oh, sorry about that. But then again, like they say, the crowd won't know unless you make it obvious. So you just kind of have to go with the flow and yeah, just get to the point. so they don't
Yeah,
slip up.
because I'm so perfect. I never mess up anything, and that's why my show is just so great because I'm perfect.
Yes.
I never mess up.
Of course, Professor. We got to learn from you. I got to learn from you.
So, what are the current companies that you're doing announcing for?
Ooh, I will say, Herman, I've been extremely blessed, especially in October. October was a super seriously busy month for me. Um, right now, I am the official ring announcer for Wrestling for Charity. I've also became the official ring announcer for Lucha Libre, partnered up with West Coast Pro. And I'm also doing other shows like 209 Dragons Den, Proyección 2000 USA, which is a lucha libre promotion. Um, I every now and then I do Total Wrestling Federation and other promotions as well. That, of course, they're giving me the opportunity to do it. So I love it. But yeah, those are my big three.
So you are I'm assuming you travel a lot then.
Yeah, but I mean everything's been kind of local.
Oh,
Everything's
really?
been local, luckily. Nothing more than I want to say like 2 hours and a half.
Okay,
So
that's
yeah,
not bad.
yeah, everything's been pretty local, So I haven't done any shows like LA or outside of the state, but they could change in the past. I mean, in the future, So always willing
And
to travel.
and that's what I was gonna ask. That was gonna be my next question. Would you want to travel?
Oh, absolutely. For certain reasons, I'm not able to like leave the states. But I'd be more than willing to travel. Like I would like to work in other states. Like hopefully I'm able to work in Los Angeles. Hopefully I'm able to work in Nevada and other states as well, of course. I mean, I've been networking a lot with a lot of talent from outside the state. But once I get the opportunity to travel one day, like I hope that I can one day go back to Mexico and ring announce over there, as well as in Japan. That'd be a freaking dream of mine.
Oh wow. With that being said, um, when you're in the back with the guys and girls, do they treat you like a part of the family?
I will say that for the most part, yes. I mean, obviously, I'm just a ring announcer, but they're always are super, super nice. They're always welcoming. They always, whenever I ask them about, like, hey, how would you like me to ring announce you? They're always willing to give me their information as well as just kind of talk and conversate with me in general. I luckily in every locker room that I've been in, everybody's been treating me really nice and respectfully, and I'm honestly very honored. I never had a hard time with anybody.
Good. And it's something that I like to point out to my audience is that the announcers are just as important as the wrestlers, and that you all provide such a great atmosphere for the wrestlers, and y'all are not appreciated as much as y'all should be because, as I always say, wrestling is honestly a team sport. It's not
Hmm.
just the wrestler. You have to have the announcers who set up. If it's your first time, you're getting information about the wrestlers. You're getting to
Right.
know stuff about them. Um, if you are lucky enough to be where they have announcers and they have them across the PA, they will give you how the wrestlers are, the feuds, the backstories. It's so much of a team atmosphere that people really don't see that or appreciate it as
Hmm.
much. So I always like to give flowers to everyone that helps in the sport that I love and of course that we love together. And I just want to give you your flowers because I believe they're due to you.
Thank you so much, Herman. I really do appreciate it. Like you say, I think that, like you say, definitely, it's our promotions are more than just the talent, you know. But I mean, obviously, they're the entertainment there. But then again, we're all a team, and I'm of course there to not only like get the crowd going and announce the wrestlers, but also like just make sure everybody has a great time, both the talent, the wrestlers, everybody in the show. You know, it's a team. We always go hard.
So, have you had your mark out moment where you got to meet a wrestler and you're like, oh my God, it's actually you. Oh my God.
Yes, yes, with Brittany Wonder. She's so amazing. And the thing is, like, I worked with her when I got booked to do a full queer show. And the thing is, like, I've always seen her, and I just thought that she was so amazing, but I just never had the opportunity to meet her. And I kind of, I would say, like, we call it fangirling. I was like, Wonder. She was like, it's me. She gave me a hug. It was a moment that was really, really amazing, and I'll always remember that. But yes, I definitely have those moments.
Do you have to have the conversation with yourself like, be professional, calm down?
Calm down. I'm very spontaneous though. That's the thing. I think that that's just my personality. But obviously, I have to obviously have control. I can't be like, ah. Even though sometimes I wish I could be like that. But yes, believe me when I say that I have to be like, because I don't want to. What is this crazy girl doing here in the bag? I don't want to be like that either. So I had to kind of have that control and, had to be appropriate, of course. But no, other than that, everybody's been amazing. I think that I really have enjoyed working with huge names or people that are just like students that are just graduating. I think that I'm just fortunate to work with everybody. Period.
That is a great attitude. I think a lot of times, and I think it's good to be excited and show how happy you are and very how respectful you are. Because again, especially with you being a ring announcer, people can tell by your emotions. So if you're down and you're like the next following match, it doesn't pick up the energy. You are
Right.
going to bring the energy for the guys and girls. So you're setting the standard like, okay, I warmed them up for you. It's you.
Yeah.
So um, I think that's another thing that sometimes we as fans we don't think about because sometimes we have that tunnel vision of
Hmm.
the wrestler, but we don't think, wow, that hey, that announcer really hyped me up for this match. I was already excited for it. Now let's go. We're this close. So what what are your goals since you've been able to and been blessed to get in the business? What is your goals?
Honestly, Herman, of course, I want to be able to network and talk to more people. And like I mentioned before, hopefully work out of state, get to work with in more promotions in different states. But I think that my biggest goal right now with everything going on, I actually made a post not that long ago, wanting to just let promotions know that I'm also going to be including Spanish into the way I do introductions and announcing because I want to be able to make people that might not be English speakers feel comfortable and be able to understand. I want to be able to make more of the people in the crowd be like, oh, I can understand what's going on. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
so that's definitely something that I want to start implementing more starting tomorrow that I have my next show. And everywhere that I go, I definitely want to be able to implement more Spanish into my or translating so that way everybody can have a better understanding what's going on and everybody feels included. That to me is like the most important thing because when I didn't know how to speak English, I wish that there was more people like that.
Right.
So I want to be able to just definitely bring everybody and make everybody feel included.
I think that's such a smart and great way, again, to include everybody. Um, for me, I look at indie wrestling as a like a family reunion because
Absolutely.
you see so many people that you know, or they come so much to it that you recognize them. So you gain a you gain a family atmosphere, and it's so
Exactly.
fun. And it's like, hey, hadn't seen you in the last couple, and I was kind of concerned, but I'm glad you're here. You're all right, and it's just a fun thing. I love that atmosphere.
Yeah, most definitely. Like you say, you have your regulars that are just there every single weekend, and it's not the same without them sometimes, because you just feel like, why isn't she here? But yes, like I want to say that before I started ring announcing, I was that person. I was the regular who always showed up to events, and now it's crazy to think that I'm actually part of them now. And like I said, it's a big blessing. I never thought I would have the opportunity to do what I love to do and be part of the business and share this dream with the promotions and the talent that I been fans of for the past 2-3 years. It's definitely a very humbling experience, and I'm really honored.
So, how would you feel if they asked you to do some backstage segments?
Kind of like interviews.
Yeah.
I would love it actually. Like that's the thing. I kind of started wanting to get into like some what's it called, like interviewing. I actually done like two. But I want to be able to practice that a little bit more. Definitely. So I'm learning a lot from you as well, Professor Bear. So thank you so much for this as well. Actually, West Coast Pro, I did a show with them last month, and yeah, it was actually I was doing ring announcing, but I also kind of interviewed the winners of the matches, and it was a little different, but then again, it's something cool that I get to implement. You know what I mean? Obviously, the more one can learn to do and know how to do, you can offer that in different promotions, and it'd be great, right?
Exactly.
It's more opportunities. Yes.
And then maybe you never know. They may offer you a spot to do an angle. Would you be willing to do that?
As long as I'm not hurt. I mean, it depends. It depends. I mean, I'm open to it. Everything as long as it don't hurt. But I mean, I don't know. I'm always open to anything. Of course, like if I can help and support the talent, that's all that matters to me.
So I'm out in East Tennessee,
Oh,
and
okay.
well, I want to say it was, well, I know it was last week, and it may have been a little bit this week. I actually watched a couple of West Coast uh, shows. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, well, and I was looking, and again, I'm all over the place with my wrestling. Something catches my eye or I hear about it, I always want to look. And I
Mm-hmm.
was looking at West Coast, and I'm like, and I thought to myself, man, I have to get more out there. I have to get more interviews out west. And um, I have to say, it was a show. It was West Coast Pro, and oh, I can't think of the name. And I heard they are going out of business too.
Prestige.
Yes, Proceed.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a joint show, and
Yes.
and I was like, because I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to reach out to Prestige. Then I heard they were going out of business. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it definitely does. It's really unfortunate, but like Prestige will always have that mark in wrestling, not for having like the best shows. So it's unfortunate, but like I said, they're always gonna have that print because they definitely put it down. They did their thing.
So right now, if there's like you can interview any wrestler, who would it be and why?
You're doing this to me, Herman. Honestly, in the indie scenes or just in general?
Anywhere.
Ooh, honestly, Triple H. I think that the man is obviously been he's a obvious vet. He's been in the business for years, but he's also a businessman. He runs company, and obviously he's been wrestling for decades. So definitely there's like a lot that I think we can ask him, but also we can learn a lot from him.
So, with that being said, what do you think about his booking style?
As of now,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be very honest with you. I haven't seen WWE like very recently, but I do admire the fact that like he bought AAA because the company is, I would say, it's getting more attention. A lot of the talent that I grew up watching when I was 6, 7 years old are now performing in AAA. Like Fabi Apache, Pimpina La Escarlata. We have like Aerostar. We have like a lot of talent that I basically grew up watching, and now they're in WWE. And I mean, as of now, I do think that Triple H is doing a great job from what I've seen thus far, even though I haven't been watching like WWE like Raw and SmackDown in a while, but it's still going. They're keeping it going, and that's all that matters, right? They're doing their thing. What about yourself? What do you think about how Triple H is handling the bookings?
Um Honestly, I think that they I truthfully, I like what he's been doing. I think there are missing a bunch of opportunities too, especially where it comes to the younger talent.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one problem that I think that WWE has had for quite a while, and they still have it, is not giving the mid card enough chance to be main eventers. They rely too heavily on wrestlers that are
Really
older
well
and
seasoned. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and and you can tell every time they need a big ratings boost. Oh, let's get The Rock, or let's bring back
Mm-hmm.
Brock Lesnar, or tell the Undertaker to come out, and that's fine. But what happens when, like, now Seth Rollins is hurt? Who's going to be able to step up and legitimately take his spot? There's so many people
Mm-hmm.
that don't get the chance, and I think they definitely need to work on that and not just rely on two or three people, because it anyone can get hurt at any time. You need utility role players who can consistently step up and be able to keep the show going.
Absolutely. I think that you're definitely right because, like you say, yes, fans that have been fans for years do love the fact that we get to still see John Cena, even though he's going to be retiring, unfortunately, very soon. Ryan and CM Punk and stuff, and other talent as well. But then again, like you say, I think it is a really more convenient thing to start seeing a lot of the talent that they have in NXT, like the newcomers, to kind of start kind of being shown a little bit more, so that way when the time comes, hey, I've been here for a couple years and I've been building my reputation here. So that's kind of how the fans start kind of loving them, or getting to actually become fans of them more and more. Like you say,
Right.
because right now WWE is huge. Like they have so many programs like WWE ID and like NXT, and there's so much crazy talent, but they're not being promoted right, or not they're not being pushed into the main card. And like you say, I think it's just wasted potential because they're newcomers, they're hungry for it, and their talent speaks for it. So I definitely do agree that they need to be given more opportunities.
And another thing that bugs me, I'm big into women's wrestling. I love
Hmm.
women's wrestling. I was super happy they got them mid card titles.
Mm-hmm.
That was the right move. Let them build their talent. But ever since they've gotten the mid card talent, I mean titles, they really hadn't did anything with it for the lower the I hate to say it like this, but the lower class women who don't get real good opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
I, I'm a big Becky Lynch fan. Love Becky. I thought it was the right move to let her win the Intercontinental title,
Mm-hmm.
but she defends it against the same people, and
Right.
it's like, what about the Ivy Nile? I hadn't seen Ivy Nile in 2 months, I think, and not just because she's from my hometown, but they, I think they need to start making it more, um, making it, giving people chances and making sure you write something interesting for them. And I get it too. You only have so much TV time a week. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
can't get TV time, but you can tell stories that interweave where a bunch of people have chances and get known and different things. So, but yeah,
No. Mm-hmm.
that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, you're most definitely right. I would definitely like to see people from like NXT or like newcomers, like start getting a kind of the main roster or like get more opportunities against the bigger names because that way it's fair. We get to see new faces. We get to see the new generation of great wrestlers.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with you on that.
So, if if they said, okay, you have a choice, you have to make this choice. You can only watch Indies or WWE. Which one would it be and why?
Indies without a doubt. Like you say, WWE and AEW, like the bigger names are always going to be great. Always going to be great, right? But to me, when I discovered indie wrestling when I was 22, to me, I was introduced to a whole other world. And the fact that you get to actually like meet these people and get to know them and actually watch them like right in front of you, and it's amazing. It's something that to me I would much rather pay to go to indie wrestling for the rest of the year over WWE, even though it's a heck of an experience, right? But then again, I would much rather support my fellow or my local indie wrestlers.
And let's be real, it's a lot cheaper, and you get so much more. I
Yes,
believe out of the indie wrestling.
you get to see like so many spots with tables and chairs and doors like right in front of you. You're like, oh God, I felt that. So
I would
it's
think I would tell you a quick funny story.
do
Took
tell
my
me.
wife to an indie show. First time she went, and she was amazed by it. And the two wrestlers, they were outside brawling. They were in front of us, and one of the wrestlers threw the wrestlers over the guardrail over where we were. Well,
Oh shoot.
he he went over and he kind of bumped me. Well, no biggie. He came up and he did a plancha and he stepped on my foot and sprung up. And then he hit the wrestler. I'm looking at my wife. I'm like,
We should have got somewhere. We should have said somewhere else.
he stepped on my foot. I'm gonna get him. I'm like, oh, I said he coming back around here. I'm gonna punch him. I'm gonna punch him. So the card, the match ended, and they went to the break, and the wrestlers come out, and he came out. I said, "Hey, come here for a second." He walked over to me. I like, you stepped on my foot, right? He's like, oh man, I'm sorry. I like, I kept telling my wife, you came any closer, I was punching you in the face. He just
Damn.
started laughing. But that interaction, and it
Yeah.
was so cool.
Do you still
And
get to see the wrestler a lot?
um unfortunately she doesn't have the energy to go a lot of times when I go.
Hmm.
Matter of fact, hopefully, and knock on wood, because it seems like every time I say I'm gonna do something, something happens and I don't. But tomorrow, I'm supposed to go to a local show with where the NWA, the former NWA Women's Champion, her sister, and her dad own the promotion, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to that show tomorrow.
Well, that's really fun.
Yeah, and matter of fact, she was the first wrestler ever to do a promo for me.
Mm.
It was just out of the blue, and every time I see her, she will cut a promo for me now. I just feel like I'm family every time I see them. They're just so wonderful to me.
I'm really glad that you like. How long have you known the wrestler for?
Oh, I want to say about 3 years now.
So every time
Yeah,
you see them, you're just like, hey.
yeah,
It's
and
really
and
like a.
and it's funny because if I don't speak to them, they speak to me. Like another promotion that's real close. Um, I talked to the owner. I actually did an interview with him and his sons, and he saw me at one. He's like, "Man, where you been? We hadn't seen you lately. What's going on? You okay?" And I said, "Oh yeah, just personal stuff, but everything's good." So again, I feel like those two promotions are like my home promotions. They look for me. They'll speak to me. A couple of wrestlers. Oh my god, one. He damn near gives me bear hugs every time he sees me.
Hey, but that's good though, right? Like you feel really at home when you see them. That's
Oh
that
yeah,
heartwarming feeling.
oh yeah. And um, I was put into a local Hall of Fame, and I asked him if he would induct me, and
Aw.
he was so happy. It brought tears to his eyes, and I'm like, you got to stop because I'm not going to do this on TV. I mean, on my podcast, bust out crying. But it was a real honor for me to get that and to have him induct me.
That's honestly really a huge blessing, and congratulations on that, Professor Bear.
Thank you,
Really well
thank you.
deserved, of course.
So, with all of that being said, if you had a chance to interview a wrestler that has passed, who would it be and why?
Who's chopping onions? No, I'm sorry. Honestly, I don't want to tear up, but La Parca. La Parca was he was my childhood hero. I never got to meet him, but I definitely
I
would interview him. That would be my choice. I'm
I
sorry. I'm sorry, Herman. I got on my feelings.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's the one thing that honestly I love about wrestling, that it draws emotion out of us. As as I hear so many people who don't understand why we love wrestling. Oh, it's just fake, and like, well, you don't say that about all the movies you go to and everything.
Exactly.
So who cares?
Exactly. Like honestly, whenever I hear it now, it's just like that's what you think, but really, it's really not. It's really not. It really does take a. I think that when I hear that, I always think of that it's just ignorance. Because if you really came to a show, you really saw what goes on, and you saw how hard these athletes work, how they show up, how they take beatings, how they end up so tired after a match, but they still love to do it. That's what they love to do, and they always put up a phenomenal show. So that's the stigma, but they wouldn't believe that if they actually went to shows and got to see how they trained and what
And
they
that,
doing.
that's what I love too. That all you can be an athlete and think you can just jump into wrestling and you learn the hard way. No,
Hmm.
it's totally different. Your cardio is has to be on a whole different type of level.
Yes, the conditioning for wrestling. I
Woo.
haven't done it, but from what I've seen,
Yeah,
golly. But I am tremendous respect for the talent that trains that way, because honestly, it just really comes to show how much they're willing to condition to be able to be in that ring for a long time.
definitely. And on top of that too, it's I got a chance to step in the ring for the first time this year, and I again almost damn near marked out. I was like, I'm in the ring. I'm in the wrestling ring. Oh my god! And, and, on, and on top of it, it wasn't just a regular wrestling ring. It was a cage. The whole
How was
the
that
whole
experience?
the whole show was built around the cage. So
Hmm.
I and actually we had a spot where we got to come out, get in the ring, talk. Then the owner came out. Me and him went back and forth, and it was like, oh my god! And I got to experience what people wrestlers have told me how you get tunnel vision. I'm like, how do you, all this noise and people? And then I experienced because once I walked out to my music, I was like, oh my God. And I didn't see the fans. I didn't see anything. It was just like they said, tunnel vision. I couldn't hear anything. It
Is
was
it because of the nervous? Like, are you like nervous, or what exactly like do you experience when you're going into the ring?
well, what it was just that experience that we see the wrestlers do. They get to
Hmm.
come out, they get to interact with the fans, and I had to walk around the ring, and I got to give the fans high fives and stuff. So once I walked out, I was listening to my music. I walked out, and then everything just kind of I didn't hear anything. I could see, but it was just everything got quiet to me, and it
Hmm.
was so exciting. And I messed up on my lines, but I knew I messed up, but I kept going and was able to turn something I said around, so it gave the opportunity to get back on track. It was amazing. And then we walked back through the curtains, and I'm like, oh my god, I,
I just did that.
it it was crazy. It was crazy. Then seeing the monitors and how they produced, it was just a crazy feeling. I'm like, I must have died and went to heaven.
But it's definitely like a dream come true, no, to be able to kind of experience that.
Oh yes, definitely, definitely. I I could I got to experience WrestleMania. I got to experience of Royal Rumble. I got to experience AEW. Um, I got to be in the ring. I got to cut a promo. I if I died tomorrow, I would be going happy because I got to experience everything like you, the main thing I didn't get hurt.
That's the most important thing, Herman, because you're like, oh man. But honestly, I'm really glad that you got to have that experience. I think that's hecka dope. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, this has been such a great talk. I always, again, I definitely want you to enjoy your flowers. You work
Thank
hard.
you.
You do so much, and oh, the one question that I didn't ask and just dawned on me: have you had the experience of fans coming up to you yet?
Not yet. Not yet, but honestly, like the only thing that they come up for is like they want to know like a certain talent's name, or oh, how can I find you guys on Instagram, the promotion? I'm just like, okay, I just write it down and stuff.
What
But
Wait,
sorry.
you are going to have that experience where a fan is going to come up and tell you how great you are and they love you to death. And I promise you, it's going to touch your soul in where where you have that love for your favorite wrestlers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to hit you so different when somebody, especially if it's a young kid, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to blow you away. It's going to be a great feeling, and it's going
You
to come.
actually,
It's coming
sorry, Professor.
sooner than you think. It definitely is.
Thank you so much, Herman. Honestly, I hope so. I mean, I've had a lot of fans come up to me like, "Oh, you did great," or "You're a natural." And that obviously means so much to me. But it's usually like older adults, you know. I think that the little ones definitely love the talent. That's what they vibe with more. They're like, "Oh, yeah," you know, but
Right.
or you suck or something, you know. But I love to see. I think it's really cute whenever I'm in the ring and I just casually like hear them kind of either cheering them on or booing them.
Yeah.
But like you say, it's definitely a huge humbling experience to just be able to kind of have so much love from the promoters, from the talent, and from the fans, of course.
So this is your moment. I want you to give shout outs, um, give your social media, do whatever you would like to do. It's your moment. The floor is yours, man.
Thank you so much, sir, for with. Well, first and foremost, I do want to thank you, Professor Bear, for the opportunity to interview me and give me this stage to say who I am and ask me questions. My name is Vanessa Vanidosa. You can find me on Instagram as Vanessa Vanidosa or my personal at Naomi.Dayann. I'm usually more bigger on Facebook, Naomi Dayann Garcia. I want to give a super special shout out to all the promotions that have given me the opportunity to do what I love. Specifically, Robert Hoff from Wrestling for Charity, who's given me the first opportunity to let me do what I want, like what I love to do. Scott Brigante, Jerry Rocha, Lucha Libro, and West Coast Pro, Luis from Proyección 2000 USA, Full Queer, TWF, Lucha Libre Promotions, 209 Dragons Den, and huge shout out to the talent that has given me nothing but love and support and encouragement since I started doing this. I love what I do, and of course, viva la raza. Thank you so much, Professor Bear.
Anytime, anytime. And feel free to, anytime you want to come back, we can definitely make that happen.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. By all means, it's an honor. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. You're actually the first person to interview me, and by all means for that, I'm more than grateful. I never thought I'd be anybody would reach out to want to interview me, but thank you so much for doing so. It really honors me, sir.
You more than welcome and much deserved. Again, you got to get your brand out there, and if I can help any kind of way, I will and enjoy to help.
Thank you so much, sir. And same here, of course. I did want to ask though, like, will this be shared on like Facebook or anything, so that way I
It,
can share
it,
the.
it is live on Facebook now. It's live
Oh,
on our oh geez uh YouTube channel,
okay,
and I
perfect.
will I will send it to you as soon as we get done.
Perfect. I can't wait to share it. I'm gonna make this public so that way this can help us both. But by all means, Professor Bear, it has been an honor, sir. Thank you so much. I really do hope to. You stay in Tennessee, right?
Yes, I do.
All right, sir. I hope that one day I get the opportunity to meet you in person.
I
Thank you
do.
so much for for this platform, for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
It's no problem. It's no problem. Guys, girls, thank you so much for enjoying this great interview, as we always do, sitting around the campfire and have so many great stories and learning more about so many great independent stars. As Professor Barrett always say, support, support, support your local wrestling. You never know who you will see today, and in 5, 10 years could be the biggest thing in wrestling, and you can say that you help support them in their rise. You got to see the journey all the way through. So please, please make sure you do that. But again, we will be back around the campfire very soon for another roaring conversation with Professor Bear. This has been a Bear Thoughts, and y'all have a great, great evening.